to run, to rejoice, to embrace every moment that comes your way. It's your life, and it's our passion to care for it. Sanford Health. Health lives here.
An overdose case involving 3 teens has Sioux Falls police now looking for the women allegedly behind the drugs.
Plus, don't eat the fish. We explain why South Dakota officials are sending out a warning coming up.
And we take you to Turner County to show you a muddy drive home and how spring flooding has left roads in rough shape.
Good morning and welcome to KELOLAND on the go. First off, it's another busy weather day for people in western South Dakota.
That's right. Take a look at this sky cam from Terry Peak near Rapid City. Snow and winter storm warnings have even prompted several schools to cancel classes for today. So far, both Hill City and Custer are closed.
And this is what drivers had to deal with yesterday. These pictures are from the Pennington County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. Authorities remind you to slow down and use extra caution when driving on snow-covered roads. And how long will the snow last, and what can the rest of KELOLAND expect in weather? Let's find out with meteorologist Scott Munt.
Well, we're looking at that snow through the morning, then things will slowly start to taper off by this afternoon, and that moisture will eventually move into central KELOLAND during the late morning hours and for the afternoon, but it will fall mainly in the form of rain as temperatures will slowly try to warm. Sun returns for tomorrow, and with that we will have slightly warmer temperatures. 60s return Friday. But you know what? Next week, looks like the cooler weather will return as temperatures may slide to the 50s as we do go through next week. That's below average. More details ahead in your KELOLAND Live Doppler forecast with Brian Karstens in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Scott. A top story today. Sioux Falls police are searching for a 34-year-old woman who may be connected to the overdose of 3 teens. Sunny Heminger is facing several drug charges after police say 3 teens overdosed in her home while they were watching her kids. A search of the home found more than 19 grams of heroin and 74 grams of cocaine.
Another top headline you'll want to keep an eye on, especially if you're planning a fishing trip. 3 South Dakota state government agencies issued advisories warning people to be cautious about the fish they eat from some lakes. Officials say they found elevated levels of mercury in some areas. For example, all walleyes from Bitter Lake in Day County and Twin Lakes in Minnehaha County could have too much mercury in them.
Today, people in Davenport, Iowa are in cleanup mode after a flood barrier failed, sending water racing into the town.
Here's an aerial view of the flooding. The city is coordinating with the American Red Cross and Salvation Army to help people impacted. The Davenport mayor says the barrier has worked well in the past and blames the long, extended rains for its failure. And this week we have talked a lot about the soft and muddy gravel roads across KELOLAND.
Turner County is seeing its fair share of road woes and property damage thanks to devastating spring flooding. Brad Robs lives south of Lennox next to the Vermilion River. He says this year the river is as high as it's ever been. Back in March, it brought huge ice chunks through his property, damaging buildings and washing out his driveway.
We've been through it before. Last year we lost some of the dike or the levee that's around our farmyard, and so we caught a lot more river current this time, and it did a lot more damage. Just to look.
Rob says only one way out of his property, and it's a muddy one. He says he hasn't had a car off his land since mid-March, just trucks. Hear more of his story in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND at 10. Brian?
Muddy mess, isn't it? Yeah, we'll look forward to that story there, Matt. And of course, the last thing we need is more moisture. And well, here it is. We've got snow today, though, in the Black Hills, 4 to 6 inches with the winter storm warning. Custer, Lee Deadwood areas. Of course, school announcements have been going, of course, today, too. So continue to monitor that. Our forecast, though, on Future Scan does eventually change the snow to rain here as it marches into central South Dakota and into the northeast here through midday. Sioux Falls, I'd say mid to late afternoon showery weather is pretty likely. Under a 1/4 inch of rain, though, so it's not as heavy, but it just keeps things muddy and damp. We need some sun and we need some dry weather. And tomorrow we'll get the ticket for that. I think we're at least back on track. We're not quite to normal on temperatures, but it's better. And as we get into the weekend, numbers start climbing, mid-60s Friday. But note, there is a chance of rain Friday night. And even on Sunday, as it cools back to 62, there could be some more scattered showers in KELOLAND. We'll kind of keep an eye on that in the south. Aberdeen, though, has a better chance of staying dry And that's certainly cooperative weather. You see not a chance of rain until Monday. Also, Pier looks a little drier as well. And 60-degree weather for Friday and Saturday. Next week could slip backwards, though. We do think that's the case. In fact, we've got our Storm Center update here at KELOLAND.com. Make sure you check that out as we're talking about the long-range forecast as we head into the month of May. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Brian, and thanks for joining us for KELOLAND on the Go. Be sure to join us on air for midday in KELOLAND.
Until then, you can get up-to-the-minute developments right here on KELOLAND.com. Now go have a great day.